Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we time to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we're still in 2 Corinthians, and we're moving on to the 4th chapter, verses 1 to 15, and this is that wonderful text where we have treasures in clay jars, and it's a great text. I love it. And it's also trying to figure out how do we get at a children's sermon about this. And one of the ideas that I was playing around with is that grace extends out, that everything is for the glory of God, that grace shines out, and that ultimately that through us, when God comes to us and God works with us to better the world, and so that the world sees God through us. The item I'm using is this item here. It's a tea light jar. Ran into this at the Dollar Tree, and I thought this was so great. Now, what I like about it, it's got a little hole in here, and you can put the tea light on here, and that's one of those small votive candles, and you can drop it in here. If you don't want to use actual flame, there's a couple other options that I was thinking. One is they've got the ones that you can turn on. It's an electric one. Or what you really can do is take another lid, take another jar, if you have a jar at home, and put some type of an LED light, or put a small flashlight, or some type of bulb in there. You could actually, with a little extension cord and a bulb that you could put into there, and maybe even hold it up like this. Then it's a little arts and crafts time. Not really, but you're going to get some duct tape. I know some people just got really excited when I mentioned duct tape. Duct tape, what can I do? But it's to cover. It's to cover here. And the idea is to cover it, but you're going to leave little spaces in between. Okay, so it's the idea that you want some light to be able to shine through as you cover this, and the light shines through. And so the idea is that when when we have the light of Christ, it shines through us. Sometimes I love the image, and I don't know if I'd use this necessarily in a kid's sermon, this imagery, but that sometimes when we're hurt, when we feel like we've been broken, that's how the light of Christ can shine out. That sometimes, and kids would get this as well, that sometimes if I know what it's like, for example, let's say I'm playing a game and I lose, or my younger brother is playing a game and he loses, and it really hurts. He's really sad. I know what it's like to lose a game. And through my own experience, I know what he's going through, and I might be able to help him in that. And that might be a way that the light of Christ shines through. But using this and taping it to where there's the little thing, that it's just a visual that God's light shines through us, and that we are clay jars, and that in that we are filled with the light. The imagery that will just not work in a children's sermon, but this with it being all taped except for little places where the light can shine through. It's a great image how Jesus shines through us, and we can through God's work we can help and be God's helpers in this world. So there we are. That's what I'm using for the children's sermon for the 4th chapter of the 2 Corinthians. So hope it's help. Hope it's gets you thinking in a direction that you might be able to use. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a blessed week.